where desert winds ignite the racing flame. Precision rules, where chaos dares to play.
Oh my word!
Each fraction fought
Absolute clutch moment in the race.
defines the course to fame.
The job isn't done yet.
Every millimetre is a battle in every way.
Oh, huge!
The wings' fine trim, the foil's electric rise, a grinder's surge, a helm's unwavering plight.
If you win SailGP, you're the best sailing country in the world.
In perfect sync, beneath the Gulf's bright skies, they chase the edge where seconds turn to light.
I can't see them, it's going to be your call, Tess.
No luck will crown the ones who dare this call.
To have a chance to make it into the final, we really need to be at the top in Abu Dhabi.
For data, nerve and power shape the fight. In Abu Dhabi's glare, it's win or fall. 3.2 million reasons fueled their final flight. For speed is the truth.
Go over 103!
And only those who gain, within the margin, master the domain.
Australia, Spain, New Zealand and Great Britain, 4 contenders, only 3 seats at the table.
Waves crash underneath, sound like thunder speaking. Flying carbon machines, driven by the world's best, yes. Powered by nature, raw passion, all action. When it takes, racing on water, racing with impact. Give it all, everything, give it all, everything. We are racing. When it takes, we are SailGP.
Spanning the globe in a journey that has covered more than 30,000 miles, the world's best sailors now arrive in the Middle East for the final test of a season that began more than 12 months ago. But now the focus is solely on this weekend and making your case as a team worthy to be called champions. For only the second time, SailGP rolls into the scenic port city of Abu Dhabi for a showdown in the Arabian Gulf. But this time, it will be the race that brings down the curtain on what has been a scintillating 5th season of racing. The fans will enjoy world-class racing on the high-tech foiling F50s and follow the drama of who will have the needed points to make the cut. Alongside former GBR crew member Hannah Diamond and Olympian Stevie Morrison, I'm Todd Harris. Welcome to the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix 2025 Season Grand Final, presented by the Abu Dhabi Sports Council. It has been an amazing journey which began last year in the Middle East, witnessing new and returning locations. But after 11 stops, SailGP's 2025 season now concludes where it started, with an epic final showdown.
Season 5 of the Rolex SailGP Championship has been, well, let's just say, memorable.
Oh, disaster! Oh my word, it's a big incident here.
We've seen 7 different winners across 11 events so far, and the fight at the top is extremely close. In the overall season standings, just 9 points separate the top 4. Emirates GBR, New Zealand's Black Foils, Australia's Bonds Flying Roos and Spain's Los Gallos. But only 3 of these will make it to the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix 2025 Season Grand Final. 1 will lose the chance to claim the Season 5 title. And remember, it's a $2 million Grand Final. Let's remind you of how the points will play out this weekend. First, we'll have 6 fleet races, where all of the teams race together. Season points are then awarded based on the finishing positions of the event. 10 for the event winner, down to 1 point for 10th place. These are added to the season tally coming into Abu Dhabi, and that's how we will find out who is in the crucial top 3 places that will battle it out for the season title Grand Final race. And this one is likely to go right down to the wire. With a $3.2 million prize purse in Abu Dhabi, there are multiple storylines in play. Every inch will be fought for, because every single point could make the difference.
That's some comeback there.
Here are the permutations to reach the grand final. Emirates GBR need to finish 9th or better. The Black Foils 6th or better. Bond's Flying Roos need to finish ahead of Los Gallos. The Spanish team have the toughest task. They need to finish 4 positions ahead of Australia, 6 ahead of New Zealand, or 9 ahead of GBR.
So with just one event left, the standings look like this coming into Abu Dhabi. Emirates GBR maintain a 3-point lead at the top over the Black Foils of New Zealand. 3-time champions, the Bond's Flying Roos, hold the all-important 3rd and final spot in the grand final. However, the reigning champions, Los Gallos Spain, are just 4 points back and still have a real chance to make the grand final and defend their title.
Well, the racing is going to come at us thick and fast today. 4 races for the 12-boat fleet today. We're going to have 3 more fleet races tomorrow, should the wind provide its power. 10 points if you win the race, 1 if you're at the back of the pack, and we're accumulating points. The top 3 boats at the end of the season are going to go to the grand final, where the winner takes it all.
It's a compact racecourse here in Abu Dhabi, with the smallest start box we've seen so far. Teams will need to judge their turn back towards the line and hit the line with speed to give them the best chance of getting up and foiling at Mark 1. From here, they'll turn left and head towards the city in Gate 2, where they can choose to turn either left or right. The next leg will take the teams towards the grandstand against the wind, where they'll be looking for the areas of most wind to be able to lift one hull out of the water to reduce drag and increase boat speed. It's a short race course, so just 3 legs to complete before heading to the finish.
And there are the 12 national teams set to do battle here in Abu Dhabi with $2 million on the line before we go racing. Let's check in with a 4th member of our broadcast team. Here's Lisa Darmanin down on the water.
It's going to be a challenging race course out here. We've got light winds, 7 kilometres per hour, gusting up to 17 kilometres per hour from the northwest. The breeze is trying to push in. It's been slowly building since the teams have got out here. Configuration-wise, we've got the light air T-foils to help lift the boats up. Keep an eye out for how the teams use them to get one hull out of the water today. At the back of the boat, they've got the light air rudders to match. Aero package-wise, we've got the new 27.5 metre wing, which teams have had just 3 days training on. But so far, the talk has been they've been a magnificent addition. We've got the large tube at the front, and because it's so light right now, we've only got 3 people on board, so a lot of multitasking going on for the teams out here. High pressure, high stakes, let's go.
All right, thank you very much, Lisa. We are almost set to go racing. So it is all systems go for race number 1 here at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix, the 2025 season grand final. And this is a situation that Hannah Diamond referred to. This is a very small start box. So Stevie, you're really going to have to watch your P's and Q's and get yourself in a good position before that line goes
Oh,
white.
the tension on board these boats in this light air, it's so tight in the pre-start.
Yeah, it's really tight, and these boats look like they're really close to the line with a minute to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's
See the Spanish a little out of position there in the middle of the pack. They have the Rolex pole predictor at the top of the mast, but they're looking for the sea to part to get a gap through. And the pressure on this Spanish team right now, they have to execute on this start line, or they're going to be struggling to defend their title in the grand final. They're way out of position. Top of our screen, the downwind end of the start line. The Black Foils are out the back. They're going to look for a slingshot start here. The Bond's Flying Roos well positioned right now, and Brazil at the top of the line, potentially struggling to get a gap. Spain are still struggling. The United States are struggling at the moment. The Black Foils turn the boat down towards the start line. The red line will turn white when we're good to go here in Abu Dhabi. It's a tight angle, but a shorter distance from the part of the line where the Black Foils are right now. Acceleration crucial. Los Gallos are out the back. Who's got their timing right as the line turns white? Oh, it's the slow start, but it's the Swiss out of the middle of the line that have nailed the trigger. The Mubadala Brazil as well are going to accelerate fast from here, but can any of the teams build speed? Emirates, Great Britain stuck in the pack. The Black Foils, 1 hull out of the water, and it's a drag race, a short one at that to Mark 1.
freezing pressure the whole time.
And we are off and running in Abu Dhabi. The 2025 season grand final is underway. This is race number 1. And Hannah Diamond, as they approach mark number 1, this is not a race where you can avoid or have a bad start, because you will be put on the back foot in a hurry.
Yeah, that's right. And with just 3 legs to complete with this race, it's going to be all the more important to get ahead when you can, because there's not a lot of opportunity to catch up.
So Mark 1, Stevie, the whole shot goes to the Swiss. As they will come around, it'll be Mubadala, Brazil behind them. The Black Foils in New Zealand in a good position as well, and there you see the French off the back right side.
Yeah, that's right, and I think the Swiss just were in the optimum position. The story, though, Spain, Australia, the Bonds Flying Rouge. The trouble is, if you start the downwind end of the line, it's less distance, but if you get it wrong, the whole fleet can take your win. They're in an absolute vacuum right now. The only saving grace for the Bonds Flying Rouge is Los Gallos, the Spanish, are also out the back. Emirates, Great Britain last. They're all putting themselves in the fight. Early manoeuvre after Mark 1 could be key for the Australians if they hope to get back in the race. And there go Los Gallos. They're first to manoeuvre away at Mark 1. Aggressive tactical manoeuvre from the Spanish team.
See the different strategies playing out. You see Germany, Deutsche Bank, North Star Canada, Rockwell, Denmark taking it to the absolute limit. Stevie, is this a situation where they're going to try to lay it into gate 2, the DP World Gate?
I think Australia will probably try and stretch the course the other way now. Spain are going to suffer because there'll be a big hole in the wind made by the fleet, but in the next 20 seconds they're going to get a little bit more wind and the Spanish will start to accelerate. So they should be fast at the bottom of the legs, but yeah, you just want to be that Rolex sprint leader if you can here. The Swiss now will try and keep it simple.
No one inside.
Used to be out of the gases fairly quickly.
There you go. It's exactly there. The Spanish coach saying there, Hannah. It's tricky that turn at Mark 1, isn't it? Because it hurts an awful lot when you first make it, but hopefully long term it comes good.
And actually sometimes it can almost be an advantage to be further back in the pack when you get to Mark 1 because you do break free from that disturbed air more quickly, but they are going to have to make more manoeuvres to get down to the DP World Gate, so it's going to be challenging, but we could see a big compression at the bottom of the course here.
And we will constantly remind you what's at play. Remember, we are scheduled for 4 fleet races today, then 3 more tomorrow, then the field is cut to just the top 3 teams, and right now it's Emirates GBR, the Black Foils of New Zealand, and the Bonds Flying Rouge of Australia. But Steve, you look at the leaderboard, you've got Australia, Spain, and Emirates GBR at the back of the pack.
Yeah, and Spain are fast at the moment, Todd, though. They've got speed, and they're going to dominate the left turn. So Spain here tactically really are going to set themselves up to turn left. And I think it's going to be going down on the water and speaking to Lisa Darmanin and saying, is there anywhere obvious on the water, Lisa, where there is more wind?
It's really hard to pick, Stevie. When it's so light, it's so hard to read on the water. I actually just looking at the speed of the boats where Rockwell is going, so they turn right, they just look like they'd be able to unstick that hull. So I do like where they're going at the moment, but there's nothing really significant out there telling us which way is better. But it really is avoiding the disturbed air. So if you're out in front, it's so much easier.
Yeah, nice to be in the front, and it's good to be out there. But I think what's looking at that at the moment, it looks like it's been a big rotation to the right in the wind, because Australia have sailed nearly straight down the course, and it's actually ended up hurting the Spanish team. It's really cut them some distance. Tight in at the bottom here. Right of way with Australia versus the Red Bull Italy team, but they've got to watch out for the United States in front. It's so hard when things get low at the bottom of the course. Slingsby sounds calm, and the Australians, the Bonds Flying Rouge, well, they're showing us 12th at the moment, but for my eye, they've made a big gain on this downwind leg, got themselves right in the game, and I love how calm Slingsby sounds.
And a penalty to Rockwell, Denmark, as they sail out of bounds, so they will have to drop back a short distance, and this could give the lead, the overall lead on this race to Germany. Deutsche Bank, as they currently sit in second. Top of the course, you see the Swiss. They currently sit in third overall.
All right, slowing up.
Yeah, 20-metre penalty. Here you go, slowing up to kill that. They've got to lose a little bit of speed. They've got to lose 20 metres relative to a boat sailing at normal speed. So here we go, he's losing his speed. We should see that P sign rub off when he turns away from the wind.
That was the first time you've done one, wasn't it?
There we go, they're going to start to turn away. They'll sail just across the course, build speed, but that penalty will come off fairly soon. There you go, he's turning down, get ready for it to clear.
Pressure's up,
and this is a different type of racing, Hannah Diamond. You've been on these boats before. We're used to seeing the high speeds that we saw in Sassnitz and Saint-Tropez. Speed chess, I would like to call it, on the water. But this is a very slow, methodical game, but it's still high-tension chess.
Yeah, it's a totally different game when the conditions are like this. And you can see at the bottom there, actually, sometimes your strategy is almost dictated to you by where you position your previous manoeuvres. So you have to look really far ahead and stay away from the other boats is going to be key. But with 12 boats on the course, a small race course, easier said than done.
Worth noting, just 3 crew members on board as opposed to the normal 6. And there you see Pete Burling, the trigger finger, heavily wrapped in Black Fool's tape. He's lucky to have all 10 digits.
Well, yeah, it was a pretty scary moment, wasn't it? And Pistol Pete, well, he's managed to pull the trigger okay on that start line, it seemed, as we see Rockwool Denmark still very much in the match here, but it's Germany Deutsche Bank that have actually extended away. Clearly did pay on that side away from the shore that Lisa talked about, but as you say, it's slow motion chess, and the chess match that matters most is that battle on the left-hand, on the top of our screen. It's Spain and Australia in this fight to the grand final. Spain have got to get 3 places between themselves and Australia over the course of these races. At the moment, they're not doing enough. They're still out of it. We can see this race to the grand final graphic in gold. When you see it in gold, that means we're talking about the race to the grand final. But of course, there's still an event in Abu Dhabi to win first.
No question about it. Plenty of money on the line. $2 million to the grand final winner. Of course, you get $800,000 if you win the wheel, winning the event on points. $400,000 for the season points. So plenty of money. $3.2 million to be exact.
See there, Lisa mentioned, look at how the teams use the foil to keep the hull in the air. You can see the German team have actually got a foil in the water that's lifting the hull up. And of course, the foil's got a lot less drag to it than just a big hull. So at the moment, the teams are trying to minimise. Denmark have the right of way. Swiss need to manoeuvre here. That looks very tight by Sevenstead. And he's going to be trying to push the Swiss team there. The Danish. I think that was just close enough there by the Swiss. I think they just kept clear. As North Star Canada are going to split the course. There we go, the Swiss push the foil down to lift the hull out, and they should start building speed.
So you hear the conversations about H1, that's 1 hole in the air, H2, both holes in the water, and what everyone's looking for, the Nirvana, the Hallelujah land, that is foiling here in Abu Dhabi.
I think later races today, there's a good chance the breeze builds a little bit here, Todd, but it's an absolute chess match. And as I say, when it is this light, when you're in the pack and the wind's disturbed by the other boats around you, you're effectively losing potentially 3 or 4 kilometers an hour of wind, 30 or 40% of potential horsepower.
We can just see the Spanish here. They've dropped back into last place, so really not helping their chances of making the overall grand final.
Absolutely digging themselves a hole. The champions from season 4 last year, Los Gallos, and now they've got big problems on their hands. Steve, we've talked about this before. You cannot win the regatta on day 1, but you can certainly lose it. And they have put themselves in a terrible, the absolute worst case scenario for the Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to be getting out and winning races. I mean, it might take the shackles off them and they just have to go for it after a first race like this, but Bons Flying Roos will be very happy. Emirates GBR, probably the most relaxed of the potential grand finalists. I think they're the safest bet at the moment, but it's been a solid comeback by the Bons Flying Roos. And again, I think what's key on a day like today is how calm can you keep the comms, and Australia are problem solving at the moment, not problem finding.
Good time to drive potentially here, Tommy.
It's the voice of Chris Draper, the wing trimmer. He's trying to, there's only 3 on the boat, Hannah, and I think the dynamic of that is really interesting, how many jobs there are to try and share between you.
Yeah, they're really having to multitask here, and it's not a configuration we've seen used a lot throughout this season, so really kind of trying to learn and execute in the same race. I'd say for the Bons Flying Roos, actually staying calm isn't something they've shown they can do that well throughout the season, but if they have learned anything, then probably Chris Draper talking Tom Slingsby down from any kind of too much excitement in these conditions is going to be a good thing.
Emirates GBR has moved up the ladder. They now sit in 8th place. They are the overall leaders coming into this event on 85 points. New Zealand, the Black Foils, they currently sit in 6th place, 2nd place overall with 82 points, and then the Bons Flying Roos, they are in 3rd, trying to hold down that spot throughout the next 7 fleet races. And hopefully they will be in the top 3, and that will be the grand final.
Todd, what would have been for this German Deutsche Bank team? Since mid-season, they've pretty much been the form team, and here they are, straight out of the bag, and they've sailed clinically. They found more wind, sailed the boat fast, and here we go. They're looking like they're going to bring home this first race.
Germany Deutsche Bank winning event number 10 in Geneva. They backed it up with a top 3 finish in the last event in Cadiz, Spain, so they certainly are a team in the right direction. Stock up for Eric Heil Coastguard and his squad as they will bring it home. And remember, each win on the races, the fleet races, is worth 10 points. We're trying to get the most points possible, and right now Eric Heil and Germany Deutsche Bank look like they're going to claim the first 10 points of the day. We're scheduled for 3 more races, but what a great start for the Germans.
Really good, and it's tight at that bottom turning mark we can see going off the left of our screen. Here we go, we're going to get that Emirates winning moment for Germany Deutsche Bank, Todd.
And the Emirates winning moment does go the way of Germany Deutsche Bank as Eric Heil continues the upward momentum for that squad, and they win the first race here in Abu Dhabi.
got to be happy with that. Tight at this bottom turning mark, though. Rottwell Denmark have done a great job on the downwind. They've managed to go round the outside here. I think they're going to be following in North Star Canada. They're going to get a third place, and yeah, here we go. What of Australia? They've got a tricky way to finish this, trying to scrub off a penalty on the Australians by the look of it. Could be costly. Any gain for Spain right now, absolutely key.
Nice race, guys. Really good race.
Giles Scott and North Star Canada, they will claim second place. Great middle of the season as they picked up the victory in Los Angeles, event number 4. They also finished second in Sydney, so they had a good run there, and then finishing the top 3 as well in San Francisco.
Your wing, Bill.
Yeah, that penalty for Australia was for pumping the boards, and we knew that was something that the umpires were going to be looking closely at this weekend, so they must have been pushing that a little bit too hard.
Rockwell Denmark will finish in 3rd. Remember, it's an opportunity now to claim $800,000 if you win the event here in Abu Dhabi. But they've got no opportunity to make the top 3 and a chance to fight out for $2 million.
One for Mubadala. There's a lot of teams here that really, I suppose, will be ending season 5 and already thinking of season 6. And it's a lot of teams that needed to address a few things. I think Canada and Denmark would be 2 of the teams that I've almost been most disappointed with this season, and really come out of the blocks firing here, looking to make sure they set themselves up, A, to come away with a win here in Abu Dhabi, but also to be up and running as we come into season 6.
It looks like the Swiss will take a top 5 finish just ahead of US SailGP. Taylor Canfield and the Stars and Stripes, they will finish in 6th place, a respectable finish, and a team, Stevie and Hannah, that do really well in the light breeze.
Absolutely, and I think here, as we see, we're about to see the black foils come across. I mean, it's been no sleigh ride for the black foils out there in this race at all, but probably will ease the nerves in this race to the grand final for them. I mean, they need to be within, you know, the Spanish need to be 5 places ahead of them overall, which is quite a big ask at the best of times. But then for the New Zealand team to see Spain all the way at the back, they're going to be feeling pretty relaxed, but none of the big teams have really sort of, you know, set themselves up with too much confidence after this first race.
And here's where it starts to get interesting. You see Emirates GBR, the overall leaders after 11 events, coming in not under a lot of pressure. They are pretty much locked in their spot in the grand final, so they will sail it safe. A 9th place normally would get Dylan Fletcher, Hannah Mills, and the rest of that crew not very happy, but in this case, they want to keep the assets in one piece, sail clean the next 2 days, and get into that grind and focus on the winner-take-all $2 million race. Phil Robertson, a new addition to Season 5 as he takes over the helm for Red Bull Italy under their CEO, Jimmy Spithill. So it's Italy taking 8th. Emirates GBR will finish in 9th. And looks like the Bonds Flying Roos will finish in 10th, so they will pick up a single point.
Trigger happy, eh? Got to remember that rotation just takes away.
But an absolute worst-case scenario for the defending champions in SailGP, Los Gallos, Spain, finished in dead last in race number 1.
Cardonita, where did the Swiss enter the line?
So that's how fleet race number 1 concludes here in Abu Dhabi. We are now able to go down on the water. The winners of race number 1 is Germany Deutsche Bank and their driver, Eric Heil. Eric, congratulations. It was slow moving, it was methodical, but you guys seem to be in great form here at the end of season 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's slow motion racing, but it's super intense. You know, every meter counts, and if you have the bow just a little forwards, you can breathe and you make it through the gate, and yeah, we had a good one here.
Eric, appreciate your time. Good luck to you the rest of the day and your team. So we take a look now at the fly time, and this is something, Stevie, well, it's kind of like seeing Sasquatch. Not a lot of people have seen it, but it is out there. Is anyone going to fly here in Abu Dhabi with this low pressure?
We've got to look for that as the day comes up. 1.1%. I mean, it must have been a very quick pot. I mean, in these light conditions, it's all about those micro details, like we heard from Eric there. So it's still so intense being accurate enough.
Well, remember, just 3 places in the final and still in contention. The 3-time SailGP season champions, the Bonds Flying Roos. It has been a big year off the water for the Australians with new owners, new sponsors, and big expectations for them to reclaim the trophy and the multi-million-dollar prize.
G'day, I'm Hugh Jackman. Oh my God, that didn't take long. What? Well, you pull the Aussie card right out of the gate when we're trying to make our big announcement.
Yeah, maybe because we're announcing that we are owners of Team Australia.
Team Australia.
The Bonds Flying Roos, mate. I'm pumped.
Oh, God, Tom Slingsby. Hey.
How are you, mate?
Oh, yeah. Wow, unbelievable. Huge fan.
Excited to get you guys out in the water?
Yeah, Ryan doesn't like water. He actually hired a life coach just to get in the tub. He's going to be a silent partner, right? Yeah, take a walk with me, right?
Oh, going to my...
The timeout chair, yeah.
Yep.
Tom Slingsby with his Academy Award moment.
Hair and makeup was on point there, that's for sure. Maybe we're going to see him on the big screen, but right now he's got this drama to sort out.
One race down, 3 races to go here in the Middle East.
Mubadala and SailGP making waves together.
Welcome to the official opening press conference of the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix. And I want to start with you, Phil, the agent of chaos. Were there other offers on the table?
I was talking to a lot of teams, and I think some of the drivers will be quite shocked to hear that.
The crew lottery started a bit a couple of months ago, and Phil said it. There are probably, more teams than you expect to call you at times. Yeah, maybe there's something happening in our team as well.
To be honest, I don't think anyone's locked in this league. You've got to perform, otherwise you're going to be out.
It's been a bumpy season, and I could say I'm ready for it to be over and a fresh start next season. We're just looking to expand and continue to grow our team, and yeah, we're excited for what's to come and the next season ahead.
I think all of us are trying to improve every single event. It's the name of the game in SailGP. The level is always going higher and higher.
Peter, you're trying to hide it. You've got a rather big bandage. What's happened?
Had an incident in training yesterday where I ended up with a reasonably decent cut on my finger. It's in the middle ground between, a little bit, tiny bit gone off the end, but not the ideal way to build up to the grand final.
I was asked the other day about, is there any mind games going on with the top 4 teams, and I just sort of said it's a waste of time. All these guys up here have won gold medals, had so much pressure on them at the Olympics, and you just can't focus on the other teams. You've got to focus on yourself, and we've just got to perform the best we can this weekend, and if we do, we're in with a real good shot. If we don't, there's no chance we're going to win. If I'm honest, I was asked the other day, who would you least like on your hammer, and it would definitely be Diego and Spain. I just think that he's built for these sorts of moments.
We will be all in this weekend, small course, light winds, things can happen.
Mubadala and SailGP making waves together.
Flying carbon machines driven by the world's best. Yes, powered by nature, powered by nature. We are SailGP.
So here we go. We are 43 seconds away from the start of race number 2. Stevie, if you're Germany, Canada, Denmark, Brazil, Swiss, you feel pretty good about race number 1. If you're Spain, you are miserable.
Yeah, but it's pretty easy for Spain right now. Diego Botín, it's a simple one. Got to go and win the race, mate. It's as easy as that. And the Spanish right now, bottom end of the line, they're in that optimum position where the Swiss came from on the start line there. They've got themselves on the front row. That's crucial. The black foils, they're going to struggle to get a gap here. Bottom left-hand corner of our screen. Rolex Pro predictors on the Italians, and we've got 14 seconds to go. It's going to be about winding the speed up, as Slingsby said. Slow and steady gets it done.
And here we go, race number 2 in Abu Dhabi, about to go live on a white line.
Australia's going to be over.
Penalty,
no,
Australia
and
and
Spain. Oh, they both got to drop to the back of the pack. There must have been millimetres in that. Oh, it's going to all be about the comeback
Germany,
here.
Canada.
Oh, Germany and Canada, that's 1 and 2 in the first race. Are delayed starters, that means they're way out the back, and it's Rockwool, Denmark. They've got one hull in the air. They're up and firing fast.
Hold up with Spain here. Keep speed on. I just not sure how to.
He's got to get behind the fleet here, and he's trying to work out how do I do that, but stay ahead of the Spanish.
You got one job to do in that start box before the line goes white, Stevie, and that's not hear the voice of Chief Umpire Craig Mitchell.
So that's so easily said than done. I mean, Hannah will tell us these boats, in the light winds, it's almost harder to slow the things up because you're so desperate to be able to re-accelerate again.
Yeah, just because we're moving at slow speeds, it doesn't mean that it's easy to kind of kill some of that speed because it takes so long to rebuild. So it's really painful to see those start penalties for Australia and Spain.
Rockwell, Denmark, your Rolex sprint leaders, and here we go. The race is on at mark number 1. It is the Danes out in front, France in second, Red Bull Italy in third, and US SailGP currently in fourth.
I think if I'm Tom Slingsby, I go all in on just trying to make sure Spain and me stay at the back of the pack here and come away from this race with minimal points. Slingsby's going to be hunting the Spanish straight after Mark 1 as we see Rockwool Denmark manoeuvre away. Well, it's all the big names again. Somehow Burling's got himself out of it. Here we are on board Spain. Spain cannot just get to the grand final by holding up the Australians. They've got to get ahead and they've got to get some boats between themselves and Australia. Slingsby's going to stick like him to glue in this race.
And you want parity in SailGP. The winners of race number 1, Germany, Deutsche Bank, find themselves in dead last. Spain, who are trying to get themselves into a top 3 position, coming off a last place performance in the first race, are in 10th. And their arch rivals to get that 3rd and final spot, the Australians, are in 11th.
On you, Nico. Power up the boat.
Spain's not managed to get rid of that penalty by the mark. They're going to have to get behind the fleet. They're going to have to get behind Australia. This gives Slingsby the opportunity. I still think he's going to stay with the Spanish and just try and send them and keep them at the back of the fleet in this one, because I don't see a lot of points on as a possibility for the Bonds Flying Rouge right now. It's a race with a race. Remember, for these two teams on the screen right now, all they're going to be caring about is making tomorrow afternoon's grand final. So yes, they're at the back of the pack. That might seem a little bit confusing. Why aren't they trying to win the race? Well, they're trying to make sure that over the course of the season, they get to the grand final. And right now, all that matters for the Bonds Flying Rouge to do that is beat the Spanish.
Meanwhile, out in front, Rockwool Denmark are having a great race with Nikolai Sehested. Could this be the event where they pick off an event win and walk away with $800,000? They look good right now. France sits in 2nd place. Red Bull Italy with Phil Robertson at the helm sit in 3rd.
We've got a new flight controller on board Rockwool Denmark. Ed Powis has come in. I mean, he's got a lot of flight going on right at the moment, that is for sure, but maybe it's a little bit of a lady luck on board that Danish boat, or just a little bit of a twist in the team dynamic. But yeah, great start to the day on board Rockwool Denmark, and it looks pretty smooth.
H1, 2, 1.
There we go. Just trying to pop that hull up with the foil.
I got twist, Nico, so I can... What's up?
I think what's an interesting feature as well, Hannah, is okay, it looks like quite a big boat, quite heavy, quite clunky, but actually the crew are using their body weight to control the heel on the boat. They're moving around carefully to try and balance the boat.
Yeah, that's right. Your body weight is such a big proportion of kind of the weight that you're able to move around in these light conditions. So you want to do everything you can to try and lift that hull if you've got an opportunity to.
So there's the situation in race number 2. We're scheduled for 4 races today. This is like 3 of 5. This will get us to the halfway point of racing here at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix, part of the 2025 season grand final presented by Abu Dhabi Sports Council.
Lisa, can see your Australian compatriots on the Bonds Flying Rouge that they're in an absolute dogfight with the Spanish right now to get to that grand final. Did you hear any rumours on the shore? Was Slingsby just keen to be aggressive, or has he got an interest in winning in Abu Dhabi itself?
I mean, he did say to me they want to win in Abu Dhabi, but I think knowing Tom Slingsby's history, he's definitely not going to let Diego breathe and you know, really take the fight to him. And I think that's the thing, is really it's just about getting in to the grand final tomorrow. So I think he'll punish him as much as he can today, and then maybe he can get into his zone as he goes into tomorrow. But you know, the breeze has just filled in a little bit. It's nice to see Rockwool Denmark really up, getting that hull out of the water. But every lap is just quite dynamic. It's changing, and so the teams have to be really adaptable to these small slivers of pressure, and as they come through, really take the opportunity.
Well, we see the Australians manoeuvring right now, and I think to Lisa's point, textbook. The Spanish are about to split here, so they're about to sail to the opposite side of the course, and in sailing, if you have leverage, if you're separated from each other, that's a nightmare for the boat ahead trying to control. So Australia quick to manoeuvre to try and follow Spain to a similar side of the course, try and stay in a similar bit of breeze, similar horsepower.
And it's worth noting, during Lisa's report, the wind has picked up just a little bit. First time we've crossed into 10 kilometers, so 10.4 across the course right now, and that is the good news. As we go back and take a look at the start one more time, Hannah, it's just absolute chaos with 12 boats in that small start box.
It's such a small start box, especially when they're moving at kind of such relatively slow speeds compared to what these boats are capable of in more wind. It's so hard to control your boat speed. You just can't afford to scrub any speed, which is how the Australians and the Spanish end up just a little bit early. Really really, really punished them.
No surprise to see the teams out in front were able to get H1 one hole in the air as they got to mark number 1 and onto the course. As they make their way now to gate number 3, this race is about 6 minutes old and no problem here. It looks like everyone's going to progress around with the wind continuing to rise up. So to Lisa's point, Stevie, it is filling it just a little bit, but you've got to take advantage of this moment.
Yeah, you have. I mean, I think we're looking for about 12 for them to hope to get up on the foil. The magic number on the top of the mast is 28, 29 kilometers an hour of speed. But Slingsby here, look at him. He's got the Spanish lined up. He said, what are we on? Are we Spain here, or are we just keep racing? Yeah, I agree with Chris. You can just tack directly in front of the Spanish, block their wind. It will still be your optimum course, but you'll be slowing the Spanish down.
Almost straight away, gust again.
See how they're moving the board here, Hannah. They're calling it the cycling, and the umpires have had to put in a rule to restrict the usage of that, haven't they?
Yeah, and the Australians have got to be careful. They were penalised for doing that too many times in a row in the first race, so I'm sure they'll be aware there is a limit to the amount they can do that, but really trying to use the rules to their advantage as much as they can to keep that hull flying if they've got the opportunity.
Like 4 of 5 here in race number 2. It is France that has taken over the lead over Rockwell, Denmark. The USA, US SailGP team sits in a top 3 position. Then it's Red Bull Italy and the Black Foals in New Zealand with Mubadala Brazil rounding out the top 6.
It's just interesting, isn't it, Todd? We've got Australia 11th, we've got Spain 12th, we've got Great Britain 10th. I mean, all the what we'd call the main season top protagonists, and we're not really. It's sort of in a way understandable, Emirates Great Britain, because they just want to avoid any disasters. But looking ahead to tomorrow's grand final, you need momentum, you need to be on form. And right now, I don't really know who is on form. I mean, other than Rockwell, Denmark, who are absolutely on fire right now, but they're definitely not going to be in the grand final for season 5. So Black Foils would probably be happy right now.
It is still France and Denmark jostling back and forth on race number 2 on board.
Trying to get on a comfy lay here, eh?
The Black Foils of New Zealand. There you see Pete Burling with the heavily wrapped trigger finger on the right hand.
Burling and Took. I mean, it's calm. It's so interesting to hear the comms there. They're trying to keep it simple. He said, I want to get to an easy lay. I want to get to a position where I can manoeuvre, make it to the mark where Rockwell, Denmark are about to arrive at now with no more manoeuvres after this last turn. Trying to keep it simple, avoid trouble. A bit of age and experience. It's not the time to make a bold move right now. Stick or twist. It's time to stick.
Hannah, these are people of your ilk. You've been on board with a lot of them. This pressure this weekend with the money on the line, I don't want to say it's par for the course, but they've been America's Cup, Olympic gold medalists. I mean, this is what they do. They are built for this.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think the nerves will be high on board, but it's always good to get that first race underway, and this means a lot to the sailors.
Sure.
Not only is there a huge amount of prize money on the line, but there's also kind of the prestige and the kudos of hopefully coming away being the grand final champions. So there's a lot riding on it, but as you say, the best sailors thrive in these conditions, and they'll be really looking forward to the rest of the weekend.
Thriving right now, it's Rockwell, Denmark, and Nikolai Sehested. Their comms throughout this race has been calm and easy, and they do it. What a beautiful race they have just sailed, and they are going to come home and bring home the win in race number 2, and a great showing for them as they look to finish out season number 5 on a high note. And your Emirates winning moment in race number 2 goes the way of the Flying Danes. Rockwell, Denmark takes race 2.
The trouble with these conditions, Todd, is sometimes it's just like a slow bleed. You make a decision and about 3 minutes later you realise it was a really bad decision. And we look at our leaderboard on the side there and we can see that Spain have managed to jump their way ahead of Great Britain. I'd say they're ahead of Great Britain. They're shown on the leaderboard as 10th and not 9th, but actually strategically Spain are ahead of Great Britain right now. So Spain will be shown as 9th. Australia is 12th. That would actually put Spain ahead of Australia overall by a point. And in terms of our race to the final, yes, they need boats between them. You know, they need to basically finish in the top 6 overall and then hope that Australia are 9th or worse. You know, they need that gap of 3 boats between them to be ahead, but it's so tight and things can change really, really quickly out there on the racecourse. Spain right now have done a nice job chipping away back into this race.
Quentin Delapierre and the French, they will finish at 2nd in race number 2 to back up the 11th. Not a great showing in race number 1, so an 11th and a 2 on the first 2 races of the day. And how about Taylor Canfield and the Stars and Stripes? US SailGP, they back up a good showing in race number 1 with a 6th, and they come back with a 3rd.
Hey, they were 3rd in the Dubai season opener here. Canfield loves these conditions. Light winds, very tactical chess game, slow moving, slower boat placement, and he's one of the absolute masters of this chess type sailing.
And a great showing as we welcome Phil Robertson back into the fold here in season 5 as he takes over the driving duties from Rogero Tito. And it is Red Bull Italy as they finish in 4th. It looks like the Black Foals of New Zealand can do themselves a solid, and they finish in the top 5.
I think, surprisingly, Hannah, we've not mentioned it, but You know, one of the bigger characters from SailGP over the past 5 seasons, Phil Robertson. He's been brought back in. I mean, massive call by Jimmy Spittle.
Yeah, huge. And, you know, Phil has got massive experience in these boats, but it's a completely different team for him. So he's going to be spending this weekend getting used to the team and the slightly different aspects of that. But I'm sure he'll be happy to be back in SailGP.
Canada comes across the line in 6th place. Remember, they finished in 2nd on race number 1, and then it'll be the Swiss and Mubadala Brazil with Martini Grail. They will finish in 8th. The Brazilians finished in 4th in race 1, so they got a 4 and an 8 on their report card.
Spain have got round. They're going to get home in 9th, and right now the Bonds Flying Roux desperate to roll over Emirates Great Britain. Dylan Fletcher won't have any qualms about trying to hold him up. Right of way, Emirates Great Britain. It's a sprint to the finish. Australia could get no points here, and it could be 2 points for Spain, which would mean this whole race to the grand final is so on right now.
Go in, please. Go in, please.
So the Spanish show they still have a pulse with an opportunity to make it into the grand final as they pick up some valuable points, albeit just a few, but they will finish in 9th. And Dylan Fletcher doing them a solid, getting between them and the Bonds Flying Roux.
Yeah, but the Bonds Flying Roux are going to get right of way at the bottom here, Todd, so it's going to be about who can get the speed to dip for the finish. I think the Bonds Flying Roux might be able to salvage a point. They've got the right of way here. There's going to be a big rotation left by both teams. We want to parallel the line here. I think the Aussies are going to get a point. Slingsby, oh, he never knows when he's beaten.
Do we have an issue? Okay, copy. How long till next race?
What a finish by the Bonds Flying Roux. That means Spain and Australia are on the same points right now, so we may as well just scrub those 2 races and we're back to it again.
So we will get set for race number 3 here in Abu Dhabi. Germany, who won race number 1, they will finish in 12th in race number 2. So the topsy-turvy season continues on here at the last event as we are now able to go down on the water and talk with the winning team in race number 2, Nikolai Sehested and the Rockwell Denmark crew. Nikolai, great performance by you guys. Obviously the key is getting a great start out there, but how are you finding the conditions and are you seeing more pressure building as the day's gone on?
Yeah, super tricky conditions for everyone. So I wouldn't put too much into it yet. We can still make a big mess of it. So so yeah, we'll just try and see if we can get off that line. It's a very hard racetrack to overtake. So high risk off the start, and then hopefully it just keeps paying off.
Nikolai, you seem to already be thinking about season 6, and we've not necessarily seen much of the flight control skills from Ed Powis right now, but maybe he's bringing a bit of a change of spirit in the team.
Yeah, for sure. This event is all about building momentum for us for season 6 and getting some hours in for the new guys on board and new positions. So, but now no flying yet. But yeah, it's equally if not better on board in terms of trimming the jib and helping with the comms. So happy days.
Nikolai, I appreciate your time. We wish you and the crew the best of luck throughout today and tomorrow. So Rockwell Denmark gets a win in race number 2 to back up a 3rd in race number 1. Let's go back and take a look at the start of this one. Hannah, it was absolute chaos, a SIG alert in the start box here in race 2.
Yeah, and really unfortunate for the Bonds Flying Roux and for the Spanish team being over slightly early, picking up that really costly penalty. And then the Spanish not quite being able to scrub that penalty before they got to Mark 1, meaning they had to go right to the back of the pack. But the Rolex sprint leader with Denmark just leading round with lifting a hull at Mark 1, leading out down to the gate and making a left turn, making it look pretty easy from there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so tight in the pack, wasn't it? And really, it's that bottom left-hand corner of screen there, Spain and the Bonds Flying Roux. Neither of them really been able to find their form, but they were just millimetres out on the start, weren't they? It could have been a perfect race for Spain and Australia. That fraction early at the gun cost them so hard.
Yeah, it did. And then the Bonds Flying Roux had to choose here because the Spanish split and took that left turn at the bottom. They really wanted to make sure they were all over them, so they didn't gain too many points margin, but it was Rockwell Denmark who took the win in this race. Really nicely worked from them.
So let's take a look at the standings after 2 races here in Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix 2025 season grand final. It is Rockwell Racing with a 3 and a 1. That gives them 18 points. North Star Canada, they sit in second on 14. US SailGP, top 3 right now with 13. But you look at the bottom of the board, and there you see the heavy players that are trying to get into the top 3 and make the big money, the $2 million. New Zealand, Emirates GBR, and Los Gallos. Well, 2 races down while all eyes are on the race for tomorrow's final. But away from the race course, SailGP is always looking for new ways to inspire the next generation of athletes and find the stars of tomorrow.
We are in Abu Dhabi. We've been launching the Waves of the Future program. So SailGP Inspire with our global partner Mubadala. We're launching our first ever schools program in regions. We're going into 4 schools. Throughout the week, we take over their PE classes. So breaking down the fundamental aspects of wing foiling, learning about balance, wing control, and teaching them a little bit more of how it feels and giving them those key fundamentals. We then invite them along to the club and we'll be doing on-water sessions. That's bringing that into life and the fun part really, where you get on the water. The water access here is what makes it incredible to learn foiling. So not only are the kids excited and the community want to lift foiling up, but actually there's so much water access here that young people could be getting out themselves and training in between.
And if he goes too far this way, you start drifting back and you're like, oh, you know.
We've managed to give them the sort of technical side behind it so they can use a foil and understand how a foil works, a little bit about the wind with the model boats, and a bit of balance and practical skills with the balance boards.
My dream is to have a foil board and actually go to the beach and do it myself.
My dream would be that I can be the best sailor girl in the whole entire world.
We are so excited about what we have achieved at SailGP Inspire with Mubadala this season, and we cannot wait to build that year on year here in Abu Dhabi.
And there is Los Gallos, Spain, as they pick up a valuable point in race number 2, but they are on the cusp of punching their ticket into a top 3. Moments ago, Lisa Darman and catching up with their driver, Diego Botín.
Diego, obviously pressure's on, every point counts till the very end out here.
Yeah. We need a couple good more races. It's been a great fight until now. Obviously, we want to fight in the front, not in the back, and that's what we are looking for the next 2 races.
And Tom's not letting you breathe much at all, but how much was it nice to get that point on him in that race?
Yeah, it was very important. I think we made just little mistakes. We were just about to win the start, but we went out for nothing, and then yeah, I need to understand the decision of the umpires of putting us last after the M1, but yeah, we need to look forward and look for the next races.
Still confident you can get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, plenty to go.
Thanks, Diego.
That's a lot of Olympic gold and silver in that shot. Lisa Darman, Olympic silver medalist, and Diego Botín, Olympic gold medalist, as we get ready for race number 3 here at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix 2025 Season Grand Final, presented by Abu Dhabi Sports Council. 90 seconds away from the start of race number 3 here in Abu Dhabi, and it's all to play for as Spain has struck back in race number 2, and now they are even with the team that they are trying to displace in the top 3 and get into that grand final, the Bons Flying Roos.
Yeah, and look at that hand of the Bons Flying Roos have manoeuvred in straight underneath Los Gallos. They chose to come back in a little bit late, and then they've stuck themselves right in. And for Diego and Florian, well, they've won a gold medal. What can they do?
Let's just follow them here. If we sit anywhere, we sit on the inside, this side of them.
There we go, that's our team talk brought by MasterCard. Really quite priceless information there, hearing Slingsby on board saying let's just sit right next to him, and that's all he's going to do. He's pretty much, I'd say, decided right now we're not going to win here in Abu Dhabi, the event. Let's just get ourselves in the grand final and try and win the season, because he's pinning himself to the Spanish.
And the more races that go by with those points being really nice and close, the happier the Bons Flying Roos will be to just stick really close to them and forget about the Abu Dhabi event. It's all about that race to the grand final.
All right, with 30 seconds to go here in race number 3 and one more race to go after this one, let's see who's got it right. A very tight start box. Stevie, who do you like?
They're so light. All the teams are early back. The Rolex Pole Predictor sits on board the Swiss, but it's optimistic because I don't see a gap for that Swiss team to fire through. I think New Zealand are well positioned here. Well, Denmark at the top of the line if they can get their acceleration right, and North Star Canada as well, brilliantly positioned. We're looking for a rotation, an execution, and an acceleration with time counting down. Australia look early to me in the middle of the line.
This is the umpire's early start penalty, Australia, USA.
Oh, still got it with the eyesight. He was too early there on board Australia. This is massive. Can Botín accelerate the Spanish boat towards Mark 1 and try and salvage some points? The Spanish have to get into the top 7 overall and hope Australia are more than 3 places behind them. And this, well, this is your chance, Diego. You've got to get that Spanish boat up and running to Mark 1.
Wind has dropped down below 10 kilometers an hour here at the start of race number 3 here in Abu Dhabi as they approach mark number 1. The race is is on. Who will have the position to get themselves to the second gate? And right now it looks like Rockwell Denmark in a great position, and it looks like they'll be on the inside of North Star Canada.
Yeah, Rockwell Denmark should roll round Mark 1 and hold the lead here. Sehested on fire today. Australia out the back. In the middle of the pack, it's Spain. The black foils, well, he's consistent and safe here. Bit of a protest. Canada must keep clear. I think they did enough.
And your Rolex sprint leader goes the way of North Star Canada. Giles Scott and crew in a nice position right now. The Canadians with a second place and a sixth in the first two races.
So interesting, this sort of game after Mark 1, because it looks like the Swiss are going to manoeuvre away here and try and find wind the other side. But it's all about your relatives to the boat near you. You can see Canada have managed to keep the speed on, so they're putting disturbed wind onto... Oh, they've been given a penalty. They've got to drop behind Rockwell Denmark. Sehested should be able to manoeuvre quite comfortably, line himself up for a left turn at the bottom here. Feels like a lot of the teams are trying to simplify this first downwind leg if you're in the lead. Anytime you manoeuvre, you lose a lot of distance.
And there you see North Star Canada paying the price, both holes in the water. Meanwhile, Slingsby Houdini trying to work his magic in the back of the pack and move up and stay in front or even with Spain. We now go down on the water. Olympic silver medalist Lisa Darman, and everyone wants to know, is the wind coming, or are we going to stay at this 9 to 10 kilometers an hour condition?
North Star.
For this race, I think it's going to stay like this. It's trying to come in, but there's a lot of smog around, a lot of cloud, which is not really helping. So I think for the racing right now, this is it. It's super high pressure, and whilst it's so slow, it almost makes it harder, because if you see something, it takes you a lot longer to go get to it, and a maneuver is so much more costly. So quite interesting that 4 boats have decided to make the maneuver early. It's really hard to call out here, guys.
Yeah, really hard to call, and in some ways you're kind of dictated to for your strategy. So you can see the Swiss and Emirates GBR, Mubadala, Brazil all took the opportunity to manoeuvre early around Mark 1. That's almost committing them to make the left turn at the bottom, so a lot fewer options when it's this light on the course.
Stevie, they say that everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Well, in SailGP, everyone has a plan until Mother Nature takes away the wind.
Yeah, and the trouble is sometimes your plan can be affected by other boats here. Canada is slowing up, but that's then slowing up the black foils. It's opening the door for the Spanish out the back, and I think we're going to see a huge pile-up at gate 2 at the moment. Giles Scott talking to his coach, why have I got the penalty? Well, we believe it's a board cycling penalty, so they've dropped and raised the boards too many times to try and gain artificial propulsion on themselves. Their penalty's now off on North Star Canada, but look, they'll be in the disturbed wind from how many boats? And Los Gallos, well, they're going to be overlapped at the circle. Los Gallos could be all the way up to 3rd, 4th coming in here, and the Bonds Flying Ruse, well, Houdini Slingsby, you called him, Todd, and he's going to need to find something magic at the bottom. Right, to me, Spain are entitled to room inside Rockwell Denmark here if they can get there, because they're overlapped. Will they choose to dive in and ask the question, or will they just play it safe? But whatever's happened, Los Gallos have given himself a chance.
No question about it. Los Gallos in the works right now in 6th place, but this logjam could play into the favor of Tom Slingsby and the Bonds Flying Ruse, because everyone's going to come really crashing down to a even slower pace than they already have.
Yeah, I think it's an open opportunity for Spain here, Todd, right now. Spain are going to come out of this maybe 3rd here, and I don't see a gap for the Australians at the top of our screen to get round easily. This could be a massive swing in the points in our race to the final. And remember, it's all about cumulative points. It's not just this one race we're witnessing right now. It's how the points add up over the 4, 5, 6 races. However we managed to get this weekend. Tough times for the Bonds Flying Ruse. Slingsby throws it inside at the bottom mark there. He did have the right of way to my eye, but he's right in the pack.
So the Australians giving maximum effort on board that Bonds Flying Ruse, no cap. And here we go. The race is on as they get around that next
this is the
gate.
umpire's penalty. New Zealand not giving Mark room. Go behind GBR.
So those are the 3 protagonists right now. You've got the black foils on the right side of your screen center. Emirates GBR in between them and the Bonds Flying Ruse. Those are the 3 right now, as you see, that are set for the grand final as New Zealand picks up that penalty. But Stevie, Spain is lurking 1 point back of the Bonds Flying Ruse.
Yeah, it's all about those overalls at the moment. And New Zealand, well, they're going to lose a little bit, but they only need to drop behind Emirates Great Britain. I don't think this will be disastrous for the black foils, but Australia needs to make some overtake, because Spain's in space, and Spain's got good wind on that side of the course. Lisa have been saying it was good on that side. And look how fast the Spanish are when you give them a bit of space.
Spain are caving into us now.
It's the umpires. Penalty Canada, not giving Mark room, go behind Italy.
Oh, they were winning this race, Todd. Oh my days, one error, overcycling and trying to push that boat too hard, and they've lost so many places. Blackfoil's manoeuvre over on the shoreline there in front of Emirates Great Britain. Still got that penalty. They've got to get behind Emirates Great Britain. I'm surprised it hasn't gone by now.
This has got to be a little concerning if you're Tom Slingsby of the Bonsflying Roos, as Spain, who is behind you by just a few points, now sits on top of the leaderboard here in race number 3, and the Aussies are in 7th.
Yeah, with acceleration out.
Still a penalty on board New Zealand. I'm surprised they haven't lost that penalty just yet. They're struggling to get rid of it right now.
This is going to be a really hard lane for Emirates GBR with Bonsflying Roos attacking just there.
Oh, that's a bit of industrial language. You have to apologise for that. I'm sure you can understand the stress and tension on all those boats. That was, yeah, not a nice moment there for the Australians, and Slingsby's going to have to re-accelerate that boat quickly now, or he's going to park up, but you can feel the tension starting to come into the racing here.
Chris Draper leaning over, trying to work the pedals there, try to get the handles, get some hydraulics there. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Emirates GBR, and continuing to go on, and apologies once again as Dylan Fletcher, the overall leaders in Season 5, just seem to have it dialed in right. There you see Hannah Mills on the left-hand side of the boat.
Slingsby there, he's really fired up right now, and that will be because the Skyos have found space and are up to 3rd at the moment. Our race to the final. Well, Australia are still in it at the moment, but he's dropping out the back quickly. He needs a reset on board that boat. Need a big reset, as we can see. Right-hand side of scheme, Bottinin showing in 3rd. Maybe lost a little bit of distance to the Brazilians, but it definitely seems like finding space on that, what was the right-hand side of our screen, we'd call it the left-hand side of the racecourse going upwind, is the place to make a gain.
Hannah, Tom Slingsby said it in the press conference himself. What's the one team you don't want to see? And he said Diego Botin. The way their form is right now, he didn't want to have them in there, and they are turning it on him right now as they sit in 3rd.
Yeah, I really agree with him. The Spanish, we've seen how strong they can be this season. Maybe not kind of towards the back end of the season, but they're a team who can always produce results under pressure. So I'd agree with him. If there was a team you didn't want on your heel, it'd be the Spanish.
Yeah. Just hearing from the umpires that New Zealand have still got a penalty because they didn't take their penalty versus Great Britain quick enough. If you don't take your medicine soon enough, well, you get given a lot more.
How about this?
Tell us how many board cycles we're on.
And that is brought to you by MasterCard, and I'll let you guess what that word is in the middle, but again, it would be under the Stevie Morrison Industrial Language Guide.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was a bit unfortunate really there, but yeah, that moment, he's talking to the coach booth on the shore.
Yeah.
So we're sort of trying to find out how many times am I allowed to raise and lower the board, because they're using that
before
cycle.
You get penalised.
Yeah, because they can gain advantage. It's not quite like a paddle or an oar in the water, but it helps you lift the boat. And if you time it all right, you can almost propel yourself forward a little bit. Now, obviously, you know, we're powered by nature, not by these foils in this instance. So that they've had to come up with a system, and they're allowed to press the button 6 times during a minute period. Now the coaches can monitor that for the sailors, and Slingsby and coach Ben Durham on shore was clearly not quite vibing, but right now as we see the race to the grand final, top left of screen, well, it's okay for Australia right now, but this is a massive turning point in this Abu Dhabi event, because Los Gallos, well, if they can bring it home 3rd here, they're going to start to sneak up the overall leaderboard, and let's remember they need to be 3 places ahead of Australia overall at the end of this event here in Abu Dhabi to make the grand final.
The defending champions, Los Gallos, they looked terrific last year, dominating conditions like they had in San Francisco, but this is a different story. After winning 2 events in the middle of the season, they won back-to-back in San Francisco and New York City. And after that, they have fallen on hard times, not able to keep themselves consistently in the top 3, as did Emirates GBR. So there's the situation right now. Emirates GBR, Blackfoils look pretty confident that they're going to make that grand final. Bonsflying Roos fighting it out with Los Gallos for the 3rd and final spot.
Told it. Kind of looks easy though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Rockwell, Denmark.
Making it look easy.
Just get yourself ahead, cruise away after Mark 1, and then job's a good one.
I love how Nikolai Sested said, we'd like to mess this up as much as we can. Plus, they have an opportunity to win $800,000 for the team if they win the event this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be motivation enough for me right now.
General,
But key moment here, Red Bull Italy, Phil Robertson, he's done a lovely job on this downwind leg, but he does not have the right of way versus Spain. Spain desperately need to get back to third and cling on to that position. I think Robertson might be able to get round the outside of him here. Tight moment coming.
And right now, Tom Slingsby and the Bonds Flying Rouge's best friends are Phil Robertson, Red Bull Italy, Taylor Canfield, US SailGP team. They desperately want them to get in front of Diego Botín and push him down that leaderboard.
Yeah, huge moment here. They're going to get slow. Spain have the right of way. That's the first thing for us to remember. Italy must... Oh, he's right round. Look at that, the speed. Yep. Carl Langford, silky trimming on that wing sail there for Red Bull Italy. I think the Spanish are going to be able to shut the door on the Americans, but they're going to all be about acceleration after this manoeuvre here. Canfield must give Spain room for the mark, but after the mark, well, it's fair game for Canfield. And, well, if anyone's good at this one-on-one, it's Canfield.
As the battle rages on for 4th and 5th place, respectively, it is the Flying Vikings. Rockwell, Denmark will get the 2nd win on 3 races as Nikolai Sehested brings them home for the win in race number 3. So while Denmark celebrates yet another Emirates winning moment, we turn our attention now to the back as Switzerland looks like they will claim 2nd place. Great showing there for Sebastian Schneider and his crew. And Red Bull Italy and Phil Robertson, a top 3 finish. And look at this, Stevie.
Pile up, Todd.
Look at
Pile
this.
up.
Taylor Canfield has got ahead of Spain.
Yeah, he's done a great job getting around the outside, and those points are going to be crucial. But more importantly, perhaps, what can Slingsby do here? He's at the back. He's got right of way over New Zealand. He has right of way over no one else. But because all the boats are going to park up, sometimes you can get a bit lucky, and sometimes the door opens up. And if anyone knows how to open that door, well, it's your man in the Bonds Flying Rouge, Tom Slingsby. He's opened the door. He's going to dive in. He's going to get asked the question of the umpires, but he looks clean to me. The door was left wide open by Quentin de la Pierre. Slingsby's seen a chance. He's taken it. This could be huge.
How about this camera angle?
We're on the mark there, Todd. That's the mark cam showing us that. And it's going to be a sprint here towards this finish. Can the Bonds Flying Rouge salvage what would be potentially a 7th or 8th place here? 8th, I think they could get here.
65 true on the thing.
And with the points available, that is a huge difference. Obviously, with 0 points being available for 11th or 12th, if they can get up into the points and they'll close that gap on Spain at a really crucial time in the series.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Slingsby Houdini is alive and well in Abu Dhabi, and somehow he is going to salvage a great performance here in the 3rd race of the day. They were in the back of the pack.
I think we're just defending now.
Meanwhile, Dylan Fletcher and his squad, they are in 8th place right now. And now we watch them come across the line as the USA will finish in 4th place and Diego Botín and the Spanish will finish in 5th.
Could be plenty of action to be had here. Great Britain are going to take the Australians as far off the course as they can, I'd imagine. Spain, good result, but they lost some crucial points there. Points matter here in Abu Dhabi.
So Eric Heil and Germany Deutsche Bank will finish in 6th place behind the Spanish Los Gallos, and then it'll be Martini Grail and Mubadala Brazil will finish in 7th. Now, who has the right angle, Stevie? I'm sure Emirates GBR would love to be able to shut out the Bonds Flying Rouge, but it looks like Tom Slingsby has positioned himself just right to get 8th.
Yeah, he's done a great job there, Slingsby. He had half a chance at that mark. It was the time to take the risk. He took it perfectly judged. Good comeback by the Bonds Flying Rouge in 8th. So I mean, they'd bite your hand off for that, if you can believe that. Not normal result for the Aussies.
With my board down, and if I don't know if I can go up, it just feels like
still continuing that conversation about where he and what he's allowed to do with his board. It's an interesting sort of development that crews are learning to. Of course, you give any athlete a slight set of rules, they're going to find the grey in it, aren't they, Hannah?
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's going to be really easy for these sailors to get stuck on this point, whereas actually there's a lot more to the racing than just the board cycling. So they need to be able to make sure that they're all over the rest of the racing as well.
So the teams all come home as Canada gets 2 penalties after being in 2nd place at mark number 1. They finished dead last in 12th. So we now have 3 races complete. 1 more race to go as we take a look at the report cards across the board, and it continues to be the Flying Danes. Rockwell, Denmark, the class right now, winning 2 races in a row. Who cares about the light breeze? What a great job by Nikolai Sehest and his crew on 28 points. Switzerland sits in second, tied with US SailGP team, but holding the tiebreaker. And those are your top three right now. Then you look to the bottom, and there you see the Black Foils in 9th, Los Gallos in 10th, Emirates GBR in 11th, and the Bonds Flying Rouge, Stevie, in 12th place. They are 7 points behind Los Gallos with some work to do.
Yeah, I mean, so much work to do, haven't there? As we see the season points, Todd, and it's really tight still.
So they've got a 3-point advantage as it is right now over Los Gallos. But remember, we've got one more race today and then 3 more races tomorrow. So 4 opportunities for Los Gallos to close that 3-point gap. I'll take a deep breath, get a beverage, and get yourself ready for the 4th and final race of the day here at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix, the 2025 season grand final, presented by the Abu Dhabi Sports Council. More racing still to come.
Mubadala and SailGP, making waves together.
The whole sailing world is looking at who are going to be those 3 teams that are going to fight it out for the $2 million trophy. Australia, Spain, New Zealand and Great Britain have been playing musical chairs the whole season. 4 contenders, only 3 seats at the table. So we've got to find out who will qualify and who's going to be left out. I think what a lot of people don't know is that in the last few weeks, the Spanish team have been facing quite a lot of drama. Joan Cordona, the key tactician in the team, suffered an unexpected heart problem.
After Saint-Tropez, I was just at home riding my bike and I had a tachycardia, like from the bottom part of the heart, quite a dangerous one. And yeah, I had to go straight to hospital. Luckily, everything went quite quickly and well. I got surgery and now I'm fine, but I still cannot be in the boat.
Our morning briefing, where we sit down and over the time the briefing goes on, we realize there's not much alignment.
The story is a simple one, and this happens to hundreds of teams that I work with. There's a difference in opinion. To put it in the psychology world, you've got kind of the driver of the idea and the challenger of an idea with a completely different idea.
Boat is almost ready, eh?
Race 1 is about to start. The Spanish target is Team New Zealand. They are their closest rival for a seat in the Abu Dhabi Grand Final.
Ideally, Los Gallos need to end this Grand Prix 4 places ahead of the Kiwis.
Which one?
And unfortunately for the home team, the defending champions from Season 4, Los Gallos, they will finish Race 1 dead last.
Mubadala and SailGP, making waves together.
Flying carbon machines driven by the world's best. Yes, powered by nature, powered by nature. We are SailGP.
The 12th and final event of Season 5 is the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix as we welcome you back. 2:20 away from the 4th and final race of the day. Before we get to that race, let's check in down on the water. Just moments ago, Lisa Darmanin with Tom Slingsby of the Bonds Flying Rouge.
Tom, it's so tough out here. I guess you got to fight till the very end. How important were those last couple of points for you?
Yeah, those points hopefully will be important at the end of it. Yeah, it's just snakes and ladders, and it's really tough. And yeah, we've been struggling a bit with our starts off. We're saying we're clear, and it not being the case. So 2 OCSs don't help. We've got to just do a better job here now.
Thanks, Tom. We'll let you get set.
So that's the word from Tom Slingsby, the 3-time SailGP champions. They won seasons 1, 2, and 3. 4 went the way of Los Gallos, Spain. Who will take 5? We're going to find out in the next 24 hours. 90 seconds away from the start of race number 4, and here we go. And Hannah Diamond, I guess if you're Los Gallos of Spain, you have got to be very aggressive in this one.
Yeah, they're really running out of time to put some points on the Bonds Flying Rouge here, so they're going to have a bit of a different start strategy to the last few races. And they have to win the next few races.
Coming up on the final seconds before the start of this one, it'll be everyone a go for that white to go light as we approach 1 minute away from the start of race 4 here in the Middle East. All right, Stevie, we've seen 3 different strategies play out. Everyone's trying to get to that sweet spot as you see that blue arrow right there, the pole predictor being on board Spain. But what can you do? Can you do the Harris delayed late to the party start, or is this start box too small and not enough wind?
I think you've got to kind of have that control of being in front of people because there's such big wind shadows in this light wind. You can disturb the wind so much. Rockwool Denmark having to manoeuvre away here. Spain are very, very well positioned right now. Bond's flying Rouge, well, he's potentially well positioned, but it's high risk. If the Australians get it wrong from here, you're going to have disturbed wind from the whole fleet. Up the line safest, but you've got further to sail. Spain perfectly positioned, but they're all so close to the line right now. We can see the black foils. We can see United States, Germany, Spain and France all on that front row. 14 seconds to go. We're waiting for our line to turn white, but I think they're a bit early in the middle of the line here. Spain could be over this one early. The Bond's flying Rouge winded up. We got 5 seconds to go. There's going to be boats over mid-line here for sure.
This is the umpires. Early start penalty, France, Spain and Canada.
Music to the ears of Tom Slingsby.
Wow, and Slingsby in his own defence has nailed it at the bottom of the line. His timing was impeccable and he said he needed a good start. Well, he's got one, but it's Martini Grail at the top of the line who's got 1 hole flying first. The Brazilians will be fastest, but can they sail that extra distance quickest? Both teams, 100 metres to go to Mark 1, but Brazil will be faster.
I'm 28, almost taking over.
And Martini Grail and Mubadala Brazil will get to that circle first. They will have priority as they come in, and they will get the whole shot. The Brazilians will lead it out of mark number 1 here in race number 4.
I just want to take a good low mode after this mark. Big high hole fly. And let's keep it high and work the boat down from Mark 1. Switzerland will be fast over the top of the Bond flying Rouge. They've got to be sure they're clear. Oh, Snyder, sorry, is absolutely full of confidence on board the Swiss there. Did a great job. And wow, how's that going to feel for Tom Slingsby? First time he's had clear wind all day.
You down, mate?
What do you think, Hannah? Have Spain blown it?
I think they've got a much harder task from where they are now. Yeah. They're still trying to kill that penalty.
Oh, look at that. Got to be last round Mark 1, Todd. They've got to be last round Mark 1. And the black foils are out the back as well. But Martini here looks pretty confident on board there. And we can see a little bit of change on the Brazilian team as well. Pietro Sibello, wing trimmer there. Raced against him in the 49ers back in the day. So Pietro, a fantastic sailor, top, world-level skiff sailor, and he's come in as wing trimmer for setting up for season 6. So changes happening on a lot of the teams already out here in Abu Dhabi, and it's going well for Brazil right now.
Good shot of Martini Grail on board Mubadala Brazil. She was the 2014 Sailor of the Year, 4th in New York City this year. Picked up a race win there to go along with her 2 Olympic gold medals, 2 World Championships. So she is a talented sailor indeed, and there's the team. I gotta think in season 6 is going to be on the rise, Hannah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they've been really impressive in this first season. They must have learned a huge amount. So I think season 6 is going to be really exciting for this team.
I still didn't clear the wind with.
Here we go. We can see that in the back of the pack, things are tight. Spain are way out the back. The black foil as well. They're going to try and keep it simple from here. And Slingsby, I imagine he's going to be breathing a sigh of relief. They have got clear wind at the moment there. Slingsby's got his eyes on stalks, looking around, trying to find the best breeze.
All right, a couple questions for you, Stevie. Why do they have one person in the middle, one person on the right, and one person on the left? And what was Tom Slingsby referring to? And I think I know when he said snakes and ladders.
He's just saying how changeable it is. The reason they got someone at the front is they're trying to trim that front sail, the jib, more efficiently. The angle you can get by pulling down on the back edge of it will give you a more efficient shape. Why have they got Chris Draper on the right-hand side? Well, because actually there's not enough wind to hold the wing down on its own. So Draper's sat down there and he's pulling the wing sail down. You can see them cycling the board on the left-hand side of the screen as well. So yeah, today is a day for multitasking. Here we go, Chris Draper, international athlete on the grinding handles as well. But they're slow, there's not a lot of wind in the middle of the track.
I think that there's a big breeze over there on the right, buddy.
Yeah, I think we've got to go that way.
Got a letdown coming here.
Feels like they're saying there's more wind in towards the fans on the shoreline. You can see Rockwool Denmark. Well, Seherstedt doesn't seem to be able to do anything wrong today. Out the back at the start, but he's right in it at gate 2.
And as they get to gate number 2, the DP World Gate, it is Switzerland out in front, Mubadala Brazil in second. We now check in down on the water with Lisa Darman. And Lisa, just moments ago, we heard the Australians talking about the right-hand side, more pressure. Do you concur?
Can I drop the board again?
Yeah, so actually where Spain are right now, so they're far out of the side that Australia's heading. They're the only team up with a hull, so a hull out of the water. So that is a really good indication when it's hard to read the water on the sea. You look at the boat that is able to get up one hull out of the water. So Australia coming back, I think they're protecting Spain, and where they're going right now might not be the best wind, but they're trying to protect their position. Brazil on the other side, where they call the wind, they're flying a hull as well now.
And Lisa, follow-up question to you. We talk about the data and trying to find the wind. On board these boats, can they see who is flying H1? Can they see who's foiling amidst the fleet?
Yeah, so basically, when you're looking for wind, you're looking at anything that you can find to give you an indication, whether that's a flag in the sky, the other boats, how powered up they are, and you process all that information as well as what you see on the water to try and make your decision. And then you layer on top of that the tactical game that you have to play between you and the other boats, positioning yourself in clear air. But you know, right now, when it's like this, it is kind of the most tension, because the difference between getting it right and wrong is hundreds and hundreds of meters.
Just wait a little
And I'd have said there, the difference between getting it right and wrong for Slingsby is millimetres. He's just round, and for our race to the grand final, top left there, Slingsby is gaining points on the Spanish as we speak right now. He'll be liking what he sees at the moment out there, but my word, he was so close to getting stuck on the outside of the German team at that bottom gate, and he could have hemorrhaged some positions there, but well, who are we to judge Tom Slingsby wrong? He got it perfect, and the Bonds Flying Rouge have gone round the outside of Germany. Massive call. Brave, brave call, as we can see now. Mubadala, Brazil, I think they're going to be ahead when we get to the top here. Let's look into the Oracle Cloud, and we can see, well, the wind speed's very, very similar, but the angle is great for Brazil.
And Hannah, I want to ask you, this is basically chalk now. It is back to even, back to square, because coming to this event, it was the Bonds Flying Rouge with a 4-point lead over Los Gallos, and as it stands right now, it remains a 4-point lead.
Yeah, and you know, fourth race of the day for us to be kind of back where we started for those two teams who are really fighting to make the grand final. Spain are really running out of time to gain some points on the Bonds Flying Rouge, but if anyone can do it, I think they're going to be keeping the pressure on as much as they can, and splitting from the Bonds Flying Rouge is going to give them the best chance of doing that.
And look at this, Stevie. Two teams, holes in the air. You've got the Denmark also getting their hole in the air, so a great bit of pressure. Who's got the right of way?
Swiss have got the right of way here. Brazil have got to give room for the Swiss to turn in. I think this is getting too close.
Brazil's way too close.
Brazil's pushed that too close for me. I would anticipate a penalty coming on the Brazilians there. Martini needed to open the door to allow more room for the Swiss. Oh, that was too aggressive, really. Will be interesting to see. There was no contact, that's the positive. And interestingly, it could be an instant lead change with the Swiss. Potentially already Brazil have taken their penalty.
Stevie, is this a case of being too aggressive by Martini Grail, or is this a case of only having 3 people on board and maybe she didn't see him?
It's a great point, Todd. I mean, there is someone in that bottom cabin that should be able to look at it. So we'll have to hear the comms back from on board. I couldn't hear the exact comms on that Brazilian boat, but it seemed to me like she didn't see him, because there was no need to be that close. It was too risky. Middle of the pack, well, Rockwell Denmark are up to third. Black Foils have worked their way through the fleet, and we're starting to see the big three, Emirates Great Britain, the Bonds Flying Rouge and the Black Foils, starting to find some form and working their way up through the fleet. Bonds Flying Rouge have got the right of way.
And how about Los Gallos, Spain? They have worked their way up from last. They are now in 8th place. They drop 1 position behind Germany Deutsche Bank. But keep your eye on the Australians. The Bonds Flying Rouge holding on to that 4th place finish, Stevie. They've got to be looking to possibly get past Rockwell Denmark.
They're going to be trying, but I think the Bonds Flying Rouge will be pretty happy if they can cement a 5th and just have some points between them and Spain. I think right now, with the way the day's going, Slingsby would bite your hand off to just get across the finish line in 5th and go in and have a cold drink.
So there it is. The graphic right now as it stands, it would be New Zealand on 85 points, Emirates GBR on 87 points, and the Bonds Flying Rouge on 84 points clear of Spain.
Yeah, slightly...
this is the umpires. Penalty Italy, relative France.
Oh, it's tight there. Spain have got the right of way. Big aggressive, but he's got to be just aggressive on Botín. He's got to do that on the Spanish boat. 4 situations. He will have asked the question of the umpires, I'd have said, because I think he wasn't able to tell.
Germany didn't give Mark room, go behind Spain.
Agreed. Got to say, Craig Mitchell's got that one right, in my opinion. He was compromised on the Spanish boat. He's slowed up by the Germans there. Germany needs to get out of the way and give him room to go around the mark smoothly.
But that does cycle them back to 12th place behind the Germans. They will pick that spot up, and the USA just on their right-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to hurt the Spanish because they've slowed up a lot thanks to that. So any hope they had of maybe making a miraculous jump up to the back of the Black Foils or somewhere like that in the fleet is going to have gone away now. But the Bonds Flying Rouge, well, they've done a good job. but not as good as Rockwool Denmark today. They've worked their way all the way up to second in this race, Todd.
That's downwind.
But it looks like we will have another winner joining the Germans and the Danes today on Saturday in the victory circle as the Swiss look in position with Sebastian Schneider to take this one as they are inching closer to an Emirates winning moment here in race number 4 on day number 1. Meanwhile, the Spanish way outside. They sit in tents. They are trying to pin the USA on the right-hand side, and that is going to cost them a lot of time. Meanwhile, Germany, Deutsche Bank making their way up there. And keep your eye on the Bonds Flying Ruse. They currently sit in 5th place. Can they pick up yet another spot?
Tight here. What a moment for the Swiss.
And there is your Emirates winning moment in the final race of the day on Saturday. It will be Switzerland and Sebastian Schneider that get the win.
I mean, really sort of typically Lake Geneva type lighter wind conditions, so no surprise there. But I mean, what a day for Rockwool Denmark. That said, pretty sure we said what a day for Rockwool Denmark after day 1 in Cadiz. So whatever they did for dinner on the first day in Cadiz, let's not do it again, Nikolai. Let's try and change things up.
So Brazil will get a top 3 finish, so it'll be Switzerland, Denmark, and Brazil, 1, 2, and 3 in race number 4. You talk about Denmark, Stevie, what a day they've had. 3rd, 1st, and 2nd. Meanwhile, look at this battle. Dylan Fletcher giving no open space to Tom Slingsby in the Bonds Flying Ruse. He is not going to yield that 4th position as Emirates GBR defends.
That's absolutely right. Emirates GBR will be desperate to hold Tom Slingsby out on the finish on one of these moments, having had 2 in a row where Slingsby managed to dive inside.
Oh my God.
So it will be the Brits, overall leaders on points. They will get 4th place. Big point boost for them, and that should almost lock the door. The Bonds Flying Ruse will inch across in 5th. It's a great save once again, but more importantly, how many boats between them and Los Gallos, Spain, as the Kiwis will come across in 6th.
Unfortunately for Spanish fans, Todd, I think they're going to struggle to get any points at all here.
Oh, good fight, guys.
So I think for Spain, they're going to need a minor miracle from here if they hope to defend their title.
And the Kiwis do cross the line in 6th with Red Bull Italy finishing in 7th place. And now Spain just looking at all these boats ahead of them.
Hey, Finn, so we'll hit pretty major damage on this rudder, eh?
So France goes 8th, North Star Canada, Giles Scott will finish in 9th.
Pretty interesting to hear there, Burling talking about major damage on the rudder. So I don't know if there's been a sort of underwater contact where the boat. It's important to remember sometimes that the foils do actually, you know, extend outside the hull that we see on the water. So the boats could not be touching, but the foils could potentially clip each other. So stand by to hear what happens there. I mean, we have got the best shore team. The tech crew at SailGP have performed miracles. Perhaps a little repair on the rudder they'll see as light work.
But the bad news for Spain is they finished in 11th place, 1 spot ahead of US SailGP. Unfortunately, both of them do not get any points for finishing out of the top 10. So the racing is done, 4 races complete, and we've got 3 different winners. Joining the winner's circle is none other than the Swiss, as Sebastian Schneider steers his team into a winning moment here. Emirates winning moment goes their way on the 4th and final race. Sebastian, how do you find the racing today with this tricky conditions, light air, and now what do you do as you turn the page for Super Sunday?
Yeah, it's a very interesting day, to be honest. Not sure, looking forward to look at it back again because I didn't follow everything, but we really focused on ourselves and did some good job on the start line, and then really hard to choose the gates, so we got it wrong a couple of times, but luckily in that last race we put it all together.
Seb, we've got these new 27.5 metre wings. How hard is it to learn the transition to these new big wing sails?
Well, to be honest, I think we like it. In these conditions, we're really happy to have more power, and I think generally as a team we do a good job about learning the new things fast. And I think we did a good job about learning this 27.5 metre wing. It's a great tool to have, and makes the racing a bit more interesting in the light breeze.
Seb, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win in race number 4. We'll see you and your crew on Super Sunday. So let's take a look at the highlights from the 4th and final race. Once again, the start line, Hannah Diamond, critical.
Yeah, really critical, and the pressure's only building for those teams who are trying to make the race to the grand final. Bonds Flying Ruse finally had a good start with good speed at the bottom of the line, allowing them to come third by Mark 1, but for the Spanish, another disaster early in this start, having to get behind the whole fleet, really putting their chances in jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, and just to put a figure on it, Anna, when we look into the data, they've basically been less than 15 centimetres over those two starts. I mean, there is absolutely nothing in it, but these are the margins of top-end sport, aren't they? Spain had to push it. He has to defend his title. It's all or nothing, really, for the Spanish, and tight moments like we see here on board the Swiss boat is where these things are won and lost, and well, unfortunately for Spain, 15 centimetres too many.
Yeah, that's right. And we've seen with such a small race course, it's so hard to catch up with so few opportunities. Really, really difficult if you're at the back of the fleet.
And the Emirates winning moment in race number 4 goes the way of Switzerland. Sebastian Schneider, their drivers, they pick up a win. They become the 3rd winning team on the day in 4 races to claim a victory. And the flight time, not high, not where we're used to, not what you see more in Saint-Tropez or Sassnitz, but 1.2% goes the way of Mubadala Brazil. Martini Grail had a great race as they finished top 3, so a good day for them. A 4th in race number 1, a 3rd in race number 4, so they are certainly trending upwards. Hannah, let's take a look at some numbers.
Yeah, if we look back at a bit of a head-to-head from that last start between Los Gallos and the Bons Flying Roos, quite different start approach from the Spanish here in this race, really having to get a bit more aggressive. They ended up too close to the line, picking up a penalty, but the Australians, being faster, made a really good start in that race.
Four races up, 4 races down. Class of the day, Stevie, you got to give it to Rockwell Racing. They did job. Sehested getting 2 wins on there, never finished out of the top 3.
They've done a great job, Todd, haven't they? I mean, they had 2 races where they started brilliantly. The last race will be the one they enjoyed the most, where they came back through. Sailed very, very well out there today, but the Swiss and Brazil, they're in the game.
And this is the race, the all-important race to the grand final, and it stays pretty much the same, although the Bons Flying Roos put a couple extra points. They came in with a 4-point lead over Los Gallos, the defending champions from last year, and now it is a 6-point lead going into Super Sunday. So the Black Bulls, Emirates GBR, Bons Flying Roos, Stevie, you'll sleep a little better tonight.
Yeah, a little bit nervous, and well, it's all been on the start, hasn't it? And so our Rolex best time start here, well, it was the French. They got the timing right. It wasn't necessarily all about the starts today, but Quentin de la Pierre, he's been absolutely nailing those starts, and his Rolex best time start was pretty impressive out there on the water today.
Not a day to set speed records, but the DP World fastest speed of the day goes to Eric Heil Kostgarten, the Deutsche Bank team, going 31.14 kilometers an hour. A great job despite very light conditions. And let's check it down on the water with Lisa Darmanin.
Dylan, such a tough day out there, but you guys are doing what you need to do to book your spot in the final still.
Yeah, not our finest day for the season, but we just kept chipping away. The team stayed really strong and in good spirits, and yeah, we need to do some work, but we're sort of managing the risk and doing what we need to do.
There's a lot of chatter in the commentary booth, which way to go and how do you pick it? What are you doing on your boat? Do you know what's happening out here, or is there a little bit of luck?
I think it's all about the start, and then you're just a bit boxed in with what you can do. Obviously very short course, very light winds, fingers crossed we get some more breeze tomorrow and some decent foiling action.
And how important is today going into tomorrow to set you up for the final?
Yeah, I think it's very different with 12 boats, so we're really just focusing on what we need to do to get in the final, and then we'll just give it everything from there.
Thanks so much, Dylan. Well, the good news is the weather tomorrow is going to be just a little bit windier, so hopefully we see a little bit more foiling. We've got 9 to 19 kilometers per hour from the same direction, so I'm still expecting it to be extremely challenging. I think the teams will take a lot of lessons from today. They'll be looking at that who did well, how do we get off the start line. It is just so tough out here. I know it looks a lot slower, but I tell you the intensity is up and it's going to be all on again tomorrow. I cannot wait to see how this plays out.
All right, thank you, LD. Hannah Diamond, final thoughts as we get ready for Super Sunday.
Well, I think it's interesting that the season leaders are at the bottom of the leaderboard for this event, so a great opportunity for some teams who haven't won an event yet to take home a huge amount of prize money.
Yeah, and there's 3 races potentially tomorrow. It's all on, Todd. This one is not done just yet.
All right, that will wrap up day number 1. We will see you tomorrow for Super Sunday, the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix 2025 Season Grand Final. For Stevie Morrison, Hannah Diamond, Lisa Darman, and I'm Todd Harris. Have a good night's rest, and we will settle it out on the water tomorrow here in Abu Dhabi. Welcome to the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Sail Grand Prix 2025 Season Grand Final, presented by the Abu Dhabi Sports Council. Germany Deutsche Bank, they win the first race here in Abu Dhabi.
What do you think I'm working for? I want to be...
Australia's going to be over!
Oh, no.
Hested on fire.
This is basically chalk now. It is back to even.